I don't ever remember having great dreams about the future. Uncertainty, trying desperately hard to make ends meet. It was terrible.
His story reads like a Hollywood epic. Born to a poor family in Idaho, hitchhiked to a big city Ivy League school in a suit fit for Elvis Presley, almost went bankrupt 4 times, built a chemical empire worth billions.
We lived in a small town with only one store, but it was only a 2-room house with outside plumbing.
A vastly different world from the one Huntsman resides in today. 75 chemical manufacturing and R&D facilities in more than 30 countries bear his name. Adhesives, insulation, medical and aerospace products, plastic plates, shampoos, and much more. Many of our most frequently used products start with Huntsman's chemicals. In Huntsman's world, deals are sealed with handshakes, promises, and a word is bond notion of commitment that seems to hail from a different time.
And you make a commitment and a promise to somebody, you have to fulfill that, and it's not easy.
It sometimes confounds those around him. He once did a multi-million-dollar deal on a cocktail napkin and couldn't understand why his lawyers were mortified. In many ways, Huntsman's characteristic charm is both a product of circumstance and a maker of it. His success is made possible from a perfect storm of self-determination, grit, and uncanny happenstance that began when he was summoned to his high school principal's office to find business tycoon Harold Zellerbach of the Crown Zellerbach Paper Company with a scholarship offer to the Wharton School of Business in Philadelphia.
I'd never heard of the Wharton School and never heard of the University of Pennsylvania, never been back east before.
But it was Huntsman's prescience with packaging that would set him apart from his Wharton alumni. A few years after graduating at the top of his class, Huntsman took a CEO position at a company called Dulco and proved administratively instrumental in helping the company develop a new form of egg packaging to replace the flimsy cardboard containers that offered eggs little protection. A chemical called polystyrene. It was lightweight, cheap to produce, and offered excellent insulation from both heat and cold. Huntsman realized that egg cartons were just the beginning. He left Dulco to start the Huntsman Container Company. Plasticware, like forks and plates, restaurant takeout containers that kept food warmer for longer. He would turn this company into the Huntsman Corporation, one of the largest petrochemical manufacturers in the world.
Our business just exploded. The world was our oyster.
And with the whole world in his hands, Huntsman, who battled poverty for his entire childhood, did something astonishing. He began to give it away.
And some of the years, I was giving $200 or $300 million a year away to various charities. I couldn't even count that high. I never expected to make anything like that in my life.
For Huntsman, philanthropy became an art form.
Our greatest gifts were always when we could slip the check under the door and run.
He once dropped in on a homeless shelter and asked for the priest in charge.
I said to Father Moore, I have this little check here for you. He was busy giving out soup, and then I left.
Father Moore opened the envelope later that day. Inside was a check for $1 million.
Called about 3 weeks later, and he said, I've been crying for the last 3 weeks. He said, I couldn't count the zeros on that check. It was a great honor.
Huntsman has no plans to stop. Remarkably, he wants to give his fortune away, all of it, to battle homelessness and settle an old score with a bitter enemy.
Well, my mother died of cancer when I was fairly young. She was in her 50s. My mother had suffered through most of her 50s, and she died when I was in my late 20s. She died in my arms, and it was very traumatic. I love my mother. She was a beautiful, lovely, wonderful woman.
Huntsman, a 4-time cancer survivor himself, doesn't want to treat cancer. He wants to eradicate it. And to do it, he founded the Huntsman Cancer Institute at the University of Utah, one of the most advanced cancer research and treatment organizations in the country.
We've got the largest genetic research cancer center in the world today, and building now another edition for children's cancer.
To date, Jon Huntsman has given away nearly $1.6 billion.
It's a principle of sharing what we have with others that really counts.